Here's what to look out for when facing all the bosses in Curse of the Dead Gods. This guide will teach you important movesets and what to look out for to give you an advantage against these difficult beasts. In general, all bosses will make an attack which needs to be dodged or parried, then it's your turn to strike. You may only get a few hits in at first, but eventually you'll learn how to maximize these windows and clear out bosses fast. Also, when using heavy two-handed weapons and bombs, you can keep interrupting regular enemies even with a depleted stamina bar, but this doesn't work with bosses. However, you can keep chaining your attacks together until your stamina runs out and then back away, but don't do this if there are other sources of damage ready to get you. Let's start with the Jaguar Temple. The first Jaguar boss has two moves. One summons a Jaguar. Don't stand in this purple summoning circle when it goes off. It also throws either one or two spears. This can be dodged or parried. If the Jaguar numbers get too high, you might need to thin them out. Otherwise, focus on the boss. The second Jaguar boss has two forms. The Sun Sister swipes twice with a large AoE attack that you either dodge or parry. If you get hit, you'll be on fire and need to dodge to remove the flames. Also, these fire jewels fall all over the place. They can be destroyed with your attacks, but if the boss hits them, they'll explode like barrels. After removing enough health, the boss will switch to the Night Sister. Stay out of range of any explosion during this transition. The Night Sister phases in and out of battle, cannot be lit on fire, and applies corruption. She only has two attacks. One dashes at you while the other lunges forward, attacking several times, followed by a delayed final slice. I dodge everything except this final slice. If you can parry it, it'll open up a window to attack the weakened boss. She'll then alternate between these forms until you kill her. One important thing to note for the final Jaguar boss is that he sometimes lights himself on fire, meaning dark attacks from chaos weapons will apply the weaken effect. I rarely parry attacks from this boss, instead opting to dodge through the huge AoE attacks and getting some hits on his back. Also, note that the fireballs, AoE fire explosions, and the jump and slam attack cannot be parried, so make sure your dodge roll game is on point. He swipes with his claws once or twice. Try to notice his movements to determine when you can start attacking. The floor can also turn on fire, so avoid these areas and take your time. At half health, he does a small screaming explosion and adds another furious swiping attack where he barrels forward in a straight line. Just dodge out of the way and follow him for free back attacks. The first Eagle boss does 4 things, and if you're hit by any lightning, you'll have to dodge to remove the fire effect. First, it summons an orb that floats around the map. This thing's only dangerous after it grows and charges up an electric attack. Second is a constant electric stream, which you can avoid by dodging to the side and staying close to the boss so it's easier to walk around as it tries to find you. Third is a bunch of electric ranged attacks that grow in number as the boss gets closer to death. Simply get some distance and dodge through when the attacks target and pick up speed towards you. Finally, the boss phases out of battle and repositions itself. Note that it still takes damage from fire or poison while like this. The second Eagle boss has a few different moves to look out for. It often starts the fight with a dash forward and can use this dash later on in the fight as well, but it normally likes to dash close to the center and not necessarily toward you. So plan your dodge accordingly to keep close and attack after each of its moves. If you're not fast enough, sometimes it'll start a second attack quickly. It also has large area attacks that should obviously be dodged. Then there's a couple other quick attacks like a close range spin and a sudden punch through portals, which can be hard to notice since the portals won't be on the ground. Finally, it has another attack where it spawns 4 small portals on the ground over a short time, and you'll want to have enough dodge stamina to stay safe. The final Eagle boss can be tricky, but more manageable if you practice your parry timing. First thing to note is it usually starts with a direct dash attack. Be ready to move. Sometimes it'll hunker down into this shielded stance and slowly heal while doing this. Try to hit it by any means possible to reduce the amount it heals, but note that it'll eventually release this stance on its own. Also, if you hit it during this shield stance, it'll counter with a variety of moves. These can be dodged or parried to open an attack window for you. After some damage, the boss will summon these storms on the field. During this animation, you can get some free hits in. The white ring around them means a wave attack will travel along the ground and it's best to dodge through them. Eventually, there are up to 3 storms on the field, and each will periodically summon the waves, creating a chaotic and dangerous situation, especially since the boss will be active at the same time. Note that you don't want to enter any of the storms since they hurt you. This means that if the boss wanders through the storm, you might not be able to touch it unless you have a ranged weapon or a death wish. The first Serpent boss generates mines all around it, even when it's being hit. Attacking the mines can help thin them out, and ranged weapons can help you avoid getting too close. Its attacks consist of summoning mines around you or shooting skulls out in various formations. All these attacks hurt and apply corruption, so focus on perfect dodges and don't bother trying to parry since it's hard to do and not worth the risk until you're a pro. Stay mobile and keep clearing mines by walking near them. The second Serpent boss is a quick and lethal bugger. I prefer prefer to dodge roll over parrying since many attacks are fast, but if you're determined, try parrying the melee attacks to weaken it. Watch out for the spinning attack, which I always dodged away from, and eventually it does this exploding poison move which causes its attacks to apply poison for a while. The final Serpent boss only has 3 moves, and it hits like a truck. It starts with this giant summoning circle, which you need to avoid. It always summons 3 of these spear serpent mobs, and 1 or more can be elite. These mobs act as normal, and should be cleared out as soon as you can. If you have large swinging attacks, it can be helpful to clear out the mobs, and even damage the boss at the same time. If you fail to kill any of the mobs before the boss starts the next summoning circle, it'll regenerate health based on how many mobs remain. However, if you manage to kill all 3, it gives you a small window where the boss is weakened. Try to keep just out of range of the boss while you fight, since its other 2 attacks always start in the same way. It'll strike with its snake arm at a decent range, and from here, 1 of 3 things can happen. If it hits you, you're poisoned, and the boss will just retract its arm. If you are inside the range of its arm, either because you dodged or parried, it'll make a huge swinging arc with its arm. Lastly, and my preferred option, if you are outside of the range of the arm, it'll lunge forward with a devastating slam attack. Note that this lunge can damage the mobs on the battlefield as well, thus I tended to bait this attack from the boss and rush to an enemy in hopes of dodging the slam and getting help clearing the mobs. If you can stay just out of range of the initial strike and constantly bait the lunge, it sets up an easy dodge followed by a great opportunity to counterattack. That covers all the Jaguar, Eagle, and Serpent bosses, but once you finally make it to this temple, there's a final conflict which has an unexpected twist. Click here to sub and share my underrated channel with friends, then click here to learn about this final trial.